The next step is, do you want to review those listings before they go out, meaning the 29 listings. Now, you don't have to. You can go to the previous step and just close from there. It's set to automatically notify. You're done. However, there are 29 listings that currently match the criteria. What about those? If you don't want your client to see those because you've already looked at those and sent them the ones that were important, then you're done. If you want to review those, the 29 that currently match the criteria, click on the button that says Review These Listings Now, and then go through and put a check mark in the listings that you think your client would be interested in, and then you can go in and recommend those listings. You click on the button that says Recommend, okay? And on their gateway, that's going to go to a special tab that says Recommended Listings. So instead of mixing there with all the listings that match the criteria, those are going to be pulled out. Okay, they're still going to be in that list, but a copy of those listings are going to be pulled out and put in a separate section. And these are ones that have been filtered. These are ones that you've seen already that you think might be helpful to your particular client or contact. Now, if you want to hide some, meaning when your client gets that email, they're going to have access to all the listings that match the criteria. But if you know for a fact that they're not going to like these, or you just don't want them to have to look through these, then there's an option here that says Reject. And when you reject those, then they won't show up on the client web page or the client gateway. All right? Now, when you set up the auto notification, you've already told the client that, or you've told the system that you want your client to be notified of any new listings that match the criteria. So you've already told the system you don't care what they get as long as it matches the criteria. So there's really no need to go in here and reject a whole bunch of listings. But if you want to, you can. But just to save time, it's one of those things that you don't have to do. You don't have to go in and look through all 29 and get rid of all 29 or 28 of them or whatever. There is a select all where you can go in and select them all and reject them all. So again, they won't get this initial list. But that's up to you if you want to go through that. That you want to go to that level with it. Now, once you click OK, you can go to the next step. The next step is going to send the listings out for you. Here's the email that's set up. If you click on Finish, it's going to send that out, and you'll get a receipt that that message was sent. So you'll see in a second on the screen, it's going to say email sent. You can print that out if you want to. You can also just view that to make sure and click on View Email and click on the link. So you'll see exactly the way the client got it if you wanted to, and you can click on the link the way your client is going to click on the link, and you'll see in a second here on their page, it's going, when they click on the link, it's going to open up with all the listings that match their criteria. Now, the ones I recommended are going to be at the top, but it's going to be in order by match date. Okay? It's going to be in order by match date. Now, match date simply means whenever my client gets an email the next day, it's still going to have all the listings that match their criteria, but the latest ones are going to be at the top of the screen. So that's what I mean by in order by match date. And your client can go in and view details, and they can make favorites and so on and so forth. So, they have they can go in and manage this however they see fit. So the gateway is a really great option for them, and they can set things as favorites or as possibilities. Agent recommendation, going to have those listings that you set aside. Like I said, they were in the list before, but now they're in a list. A copy of them are in a list by themselves. Just those 4 that I recommended. Rejects, you see that tab, but your client does not. I'm in here under agent mode, so my client won't see those. Only I see those when I'm looking at his or her web page. And then you have additional properties. These are ones that you manually emailed to them. So this has nothing to do with auto notification. These are just ones that you manually emailed to that client. Now, when your client goes back to their page, maybe they bookmark it or make it a favorite. When they go back and they click on My Searches, it's not gonna come open up because you may have several searches for your client, which is great. You don't want it all commingled. They just click on the search that they want to see. Now, when they get the email about a property, when they click on that link, it's going to open it up for them. It's going to take them right into that list. If they go to the website on their own, then they're going to go to the tab that says My Searches, and they'll be able to pick the search that they want to look at. So again, the email that's referring to a listing is going to take them to where that listing is. If they just go to their client gateway on their own, then when they click on My Searches, they need to open up the search that they want to view, and then they'll see the list. Okay, you may have a search with pool and a separate search saved without a pool. You may have a search set into the high end of their price range and a separate saved search that's in the middle to low end of their price range. And they can go in and kind of pick and choose. So I think that's a pretty neat option that your clients have the ability to do. Now, let's go back into Tempo 5. So this is what your client is able to do. Now, within Tempo 5, to save you time, one of the things that you can do is if you go to My Tools and you go to Preferences, there's a way you can set up your prospect default. So if I go to the option on the left that says Prospect Defaults, this is where you have various different defaults kind of set up in the system so that when I click on Save Search, I don't have to go in and select these every time. These are kind of pre-selected because 9 times out of 10, when I save a search, these are the options that I want to utilize. This is the maximum number of days I want for a client in most cases. I can change it for a particular contact, but in most cases, I just want that out there for 60 days for them. Okay? So that'll save you a little bit of time. And the last thing I want to show you is, remember, I told you can go in and kind of view from prospects. You can go in and from Contact Manager, you can go in and pull up a contact record and see what saved searches are for that person, as well as, some of the other tabs that are available, what emails went out. You also have prospects, and if you go to Prospect Manager, this is more search-centric, where you can actually view the searches that you saved, and if it's set to active yes, you can just click on that and set it to no. It kind of hops right to the Save Search settings. Click on Save, and there you go. You're done. Okay? So that's one way to navigate around, but it's even easier than that because when you log in on your front screen, it's going to immediately tell you if you have any new prospect matches. So without going into any sub-menus, when you first log in, there's like a little gadget at the top left corner that's going to tell you if there's any new prospect matches. If it says 0, then there's no need to go into Prospect Manager. If you have a number there, then click on it, and it will take you to the Prospect Manager. From the home screen, if you have any searches that are about to expire, click on Searches Expiring in 3 days, and it'll give you a list of the searches that are about to expire. And remember, you can extend all of those at one time if you want to, or you can extend it one by one, okay? So when in Prospect Manager, you can go in and it says expires, and you click on that and change the date, or you can click on several of them and go to Extend Expiry Date and extend several of them at the same time. So that's another way to kind of navigate around the system. So again, the Tempo 5 adds quite a bit more flexibility, and there are several different ways to kind of get to the option that you want regarding prospecting, regarding your client gateway, and the auto notification functionality. I hope this has been helpful for you, and good luck with everything during your beta period. And don't forget, whenever it's available for you to log in the beta test, get started on it as soon as possible so that when your old system is turned off, you're already a pro at Tempo 5. So guys, have a great weekend, and talk to you soon.